All right, let's get into it. Today, we're casting off and heading out onto the open ocean, a place that's as beautiful as it is dangerous. We're going to be talking about safety on a ship. And trust me, this is a topic where the stakes are as high as they get. And that right there, that's the fundamental truth of life at sea. You see, risk isn't something that might happen. It's a constant companion. It's literally in the air, on the decks, and it's woven into every single job you do out there. It's a serious question, right? I mean, think about it. You're miles and miles from shore. Help could be hours, maybe even days away. So what's really keeping you safe? What's the one thing that's going to get you home? To figure that out, we first have to get a real sense of what we're up against. So let's take a quick look at the kind of hazards a seafarer has to deal with every single day. First off, there's just the sheer scale of it all. You've got these massive containers, heavy machinery moving around. The potential for something to go wrong, for a life-changing impact, is always there. It's a constant threat you have to be aware of. And then you've got the very surface you're walking on. A ship's deck is basically a minefield of seawater, rain, maybe some oil. A simple slip and fall that might be nothing on land can be absolutely catastrophic on a moving ship. And it's not just the dangers you can see. Down below, ships are often like floating warehouses full of hazardous stuff. We're talking corrosive cleaning supplies, the fuel itself. A tiny leak or a spill can create a huge health crisis in seconds. So with all these dangers, you'd think the solution is obvious, right? Just armor up. But what if I told you that all that gear is actually the least effective way to stay safe? Yeah, welcome to the safety paradox. We all know this kind of gear. It's called personal protective equipment, or PPE for short. Every one of these items is designed to protect you from one of the hazards we just mentioned: impacts, chemicals, slips. It's your own personal suit of armor. And this is where things get completely flipped around. All that equipment we just looked at, that's not your first line of defense. It's your last. It's the thing you depend on when every other safety measure has already failed. And understanding this is a total game changer. Okay, so if PPE is the final resort, what comes before it? Well, safety experts use this brilliant framework called the hierarchy of controls. The best way to think about it is like a ladder. You start at the bottom with the least effective safety measures, and you climb your way up to the very best. Let's climb this ladder, okay? At the very bottom, the least effective step, you've got PPE. It's just a barrier. A step up from that is administrative controls. This is about changing how you work, so think training, warning signs, that kind of thing. Better, but it still depends on people doing the right thing. Now we're getting smarter. Step 3 is engineering controls. This is where you physically separate people from the danger, like putting a guard on a machine. Even better, substitution. Can we just swap out that dangerous chemical for a safer one? And at the very top, the absolute gold standard, elimination. Can we redesign the process so the hazard is just gone? That's the real goal, to make the job fundamentally safe from the start. But look, even in the safest systems, some risks just can't be eliminated. And in those moments, knowing your gear, really knowing it, well, that's not just important, it's a lifesaver. So let's get into the toolkit. Let's start with head protection. A safety helmet is a serious piece of engineering designed to absorb a major shock from a falling tool or a big impact. A bump cap, on the other hand, is really just for, bumping your head. They are not interchangeable. Using a bump cap when you need a helmet is just asking for trouble. Or how about the engine room? Imagine that constant, deafening roar. You've got two main options here. Earplugs are great for popping in for a quick job, but if you're going to be in there for a while, you really want earmuffs. They cover the whole ear, create a tight seal, and give you much, much better protection. Here's a little secret, though. An earplug is completely useless if it's not fitted correctly. You gotta roll it tight, pull your ear up and back to open up the ear canal, and then slide it in. And here's the most important part, the check. Cover your ears with your hands. If the noise suddenly gets quieter, it means your plugs aren't sealed. You gotta take them out and try again. Now, earmuffs have a similar test, but it's actually the opposite. Put them on, then press the cups firmly against your head. If the sound around you gets quieter when you press, that means you had a bad seal. If nothing really changes, congratulations, you've got a perfect fit. Okay, now for breathing. This is where it gets incredibly serious. A dust mask is for dust. A respirator is for filtering out nasty gases and vapors. and please, burn this into your brain. A respirator does not work if there's no oxygen. It just filters air, it doesn't make it. For a space with no oxygen, you need an SCBA, which is a tank with its own air supply. Choosing the wrong one isn't just a mistake, it can be a fatal one. So, you see, it's pretty clear that this goes way beyond just the equipment. You can have the best gear in the world on board, but it means nothing without the right attitude. Real safety is a partnership. It's a shared responsibility between everyone. Think of it like a two-way street. Yes, the company absolutely has to provide the right gear and make sure it's up to standard. But the seafarer's part of the bargain is just as crucial. You have to use it right every time. You have to check it for damage, report problems right away, and take care of it. If one side drops the ball, the whole system just falls apart. And that really brings us to the heart of the matter. Safety isn't just a rule book or a piece of plastic you wear. It's a mindset. It's a conscious habit you build where you think about safety in every single choice you make throughout the day. And that's it, right there. That's the simple, powerful formula for a safe voyage. You need the right gear, you need to know how to use it properly, and you need the right attitude. When those three things come together, you don't just have safety procedures, you have a true culture of safety. So we'll finish with this question for you to think about. It doesn't matter if you work on a ship or in an office. Take a look at your own daily life. Are you just relying on your last line of defense? Or are you actively making safety a part of your mindset, a part of your daily habits?